Okay, this is a video. Um, Hold on. Today is September the 28th, 2021. It's 11:54 a.m. I'm trying to make it through this video to the end. And excuse my nails. I'll get them taken off sometime this weekend, but that's not important. I met this girl. Her name's Maddie. We met about 4 years ago at karaoke. We became really good friends, really good friends, and got into a relationship not too long ago. I'll say it's been the exact dates are kind of messing with my head, but we've been in a relationship. I've never been happier. With anybody else. We would go to karaoke together. Whenever we were in the car, we would sing karaoke songs and just be goofy together. I understood her, she understood me. We were at a place doing karaoke, and that's when I caught COVID. Several people from our karaoke group, had COVID or has had COVID. So, when I was, I don't know, one of my coworkers also was positive for COVID around the same time. So, I was like, well, let me go get tested. And so I spent about 6 or 7 hours at hospitality ER. And they did the nasal swab. It came back negative. But the only thing is I was having like chest pain or pressure right here in my chest. And so they did a mouth swab and sent it off to get tested. They gave me about 12 prescriptions, and about 4 days later they called me and told me that those results were positive. I'm gonna let Maddie know. She was just a nurse. She told me what to do. She was still, she was okay. She was not having any symptoms at all. Then she dropped off some stuff at my door. She brought me a box of my favorite wine and one single red rose and a card, and she wrote some stuff down in this card. And then I kept, asking her, like, how do you feel? I mean, are you having any symptoms, anything? And she's like, no, I'm fine. I don't have any symptoms. So a few days later, she was on the phone with me, and she started coughing. And I told her that I can recognize that cough. That cough is a COVID cough. And she's like, no, the cough I don't have COVID. I'm fine. And then her nose started, so having a runny nose. And she was going to be off on Monday. This was on Friday when we had this conversation. Friday was the coughing. Saturday was the runny nose. So I was like, well, just go to the ER and get tested. She was at karaoke, and they went to the CVS that stays open 24 hours. Walgreens, I'm sorry. And she was going to get a test, a rapid test, but they didn't have any. You have to go, I guess, during business hours or something. And so she's like, well, I promise I'm going to go Monday. Sunday, she kept going to work to take care of her patient because, she notified her supervisor that she was around someone that was positive. And they said, wear your N95 mask and continue to come to work. She did. But on that Sunday, she was feeling bad, and she went to the ER as soon as she got into town from working. Her phone was on 20%. She didn't have a charger. Well, she had the cord part, but not the part where you plug into the wall. So she was able to find an outlet in the waiting area to charge her phone and talk to me. I said, just keep me updated, because I know you're going to be a while, because they're going to, test you for everything. We talked until, I don't know how, but that 20% battery lasted the whole time she was there, even till she got to her car and was able to plug her phone up and call me back. She tested positive then. I was still positive. We were on video messenger like all day, because like I said, even though they told me that I was positive, I had no symptoms except I had a headache that would not go away, and it was like the worst headache ever. And she would come park on my curb, and I would come to the door, and we would talk to each other, so we can see each other. Like, she was just so like romantic. I was just like Romeo and Juliet. I'm on the porch talking to you, and you're on the curb, and sorry, my glasses keep falling, but her couple days went by, and the time for me to not be quarantined anymore came. And I know, once the recommended vitamins that you need are vitamin D3, vitamin C, and zinc. And I know that. So I made an order at Walmart pickup. And I got her all the vitamins, and all the fruits and vegetables. Well, yeah, more fruit, a lot of drinks. I know I told her she needs to stay hydrated. She was always fussing. You're the cop, I'm the nurse. And I was staying on her about taking her meds. One of our other good friends got her a thermometer because she just didn't know if she had a temperature or not. And also she got a this is called an oximeter to check how much oxygen you got. So her O2 was 99 or 100. Her fever started spiking. It was staying at 103 point something. I think 103.2 or 103.5. It was very, very high. I told her to go back to the ER, but she, hey, I am Army vet. I'm a trooper. I got this. I'm the nurse. And I was like, I know you're the nurse, but please just, even though you're alternating with Tylenol and Motrin, I need you to go to the hospital. Because I just don't want you to get pneumonia with it, because her fever was so high, and even with the alternating of the Motrin and Tylenol, it wasn't coming down. She went to Christus, where she is now, and the ER doctor basically fussed at her for not being vaccinated, and they didn't give her anything for her fever. But they sent her home with 2 prescriptions. One was a steroid inhaler, and the other one was another inhaler. I think it's a albuterol, something like that. And they told her, don't come back. Don't come back unless you can't breathe or you're having breathing problems. Some days went by. She would get up throughout the middle of the night, all night, to go and use the bathroom. And, I was still home. And, she would send me a funny text or a simple text to say, hey, I'm okay, I'm alive, I'm good. And so that night, one night I was tired. It was the night I went and got her the groceries. Because I got her she wanted a lot of heavy things like water, and she wanted flavored water, and I got her it was like the individual one, 6 packs of flavored water. So I got her it all added up to be 32 bottles of water. And I got her, she loves tomato soup, because she said she wanted cream base and she likes tomatoes. So I got her every single kind of tomato soup that they had in the store. She had so many cans of tomato soup, juices, the whole bags. All of the bags were heavy, and there was a bunch of them. And she lives upstairs, so I had to climb upstairs, put the groceries down. I was trying to get as many as I can in both of my hands, and then walk back to her apartment, go up the stairs, put them at her door. I made, a couple of trips to the car into her apartment. I think it was 2 trips. And so once I did that, I stood back, because she has in her place, I sat in the courtyard. If she comes on the balcony, we can see each other, because she's upstairs. So I let her get all the bags, put them inside, sat out in the courtyard, talked to her, as long as we could talk to each other. But I didn't want her to I didn't want her to be uncomfortable in any kind of way, tired. But, we were happy to see each other. And it was another, Romeo and Juliet moment because, and it's another fairy tale she mentioned. It wasn't, I think I brought up Rapunzel, but it wasn't Rapunzel because I think she said she didn't have enough hair for Rapunzel. But, shortly after that, I woke up and I looked at my messenger. I had no messages from her in my Facebook inbox or no messages from my regular messages, text message shit. And I had no phone calls from her. I kept calling over and over and over. She didn't answer. So I was like, okay, this is something is wrong. So I was about to call the police department and have them do a welfare check and then let her apartment people know that I'm sending the cops over there. They need to get in her apartment to make sure she is okay because it is not like her to not text me for 14, I think it was 14 to 15 hours. I believe it was 14. I have to double check on that. And so right before I was going to call the cops, I video messaged her and she answered. I was like, hey, what are you doing? And she was like, she's very, very disoriented. Very, I was like, because what she was saying didn't make sense. And it was like, it's like talking to a person who doesn't really know what's going on or they're not really there. I said, well, grab your O2 meter thing and tell me what your O2 is. So she's like, okay. And she's like, she's been sitting in her bed and she can't get out of bed because when she tries to go to the bathroom, by the time she gets there, she's out of breath. And where her bathroom is from her room it's not far. And she said she went to the kitchen. No, she could not go to the kitchen because it was much further than the bathroom, so she hadn't been eating. So her O2 was at 84, and I told her to call 911. She's like, no, I don't need to go because they said, if I can't breathe, then don't come back unless you can't breathe. It's like, no, call 911. So I got her to call 911. I was like, if you don't call him, I couldn't remember her apartment the number, or I was gonna call an ambulance to go over there. And she was telling me that she didn't have on any clothes because her fever, she was so hot. And I was like, well, stay on the phone with me, try to find you some clothes, because when they come in, you're just going to be without any clothes and I need you to cover yourself up. So, after the ambulance and stuff was dispatched to her, she got dressed. Once, she got in the back of the ambulance, called her. She said they were, doing the vitals and the assessment and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, call me. You can call me. But she was like, it's kind of hard to talk. I was like, well, just save your breath. Text me. We can talk by text, or you can, video call me and just listen to me talk to you. And, I'll just say yes or no questions. Nod your head if you can, or thumbs up, thumbs down, or, And she's like, okay. So, the first they put her, when they got there, they put her on oxygen. And then later on, I believe it was the same day, they bumped it up. Because, they start you off low and then increase or decrease or whatever. So they had to increase. they decreased dramatically throughout the time. I went to go. She was still positive with COVID at this time. I went to go. There's a spider. And visit her, but I can only stand outside of the door. They have like a little glass, it's a window on their door, and the nurse went in there, gave her phone, and I had to do a FaceTime, and that's how we could talk. But she had the breathing. I'm getting all discombobulated. She had the oxygen on, and she was real loopy and real out of it. And so I was telling her, hey, look at your door at the window. I'm here, And then I put the phone down a little bit so she can look, and she slowly looked over there. She looked at me. But she was real drugged. She was on some kind of heavy medicine that she wasn't really realizing what was going on. And so when she was looking, her eyes were very weak, and she was moving like slow, and she looked at the door, but she really didn't know that it was really me at the door. So she held the phone in her hand. It was kind of like holding it like this. And so I was like, hey, don't say anything. Just, we're gonna go back to the thumbs up and thumbs down. And I was like, are you hurting or anything? And she said she was not hurting. She was fine. And then she started talking. I was like, no, don't talk. Save all of your air. You need your lungs to get better. And I said, well, I'm gonna go, and I'll come see you the next day. We text off and on. I think it was in between. It was very short text, but we got, we said to each other whatever we had to say. And then I had a very hard time because I was blaming myself, but she made it very clear that it's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault, because nobody knew that we had it, or anybody in the group had it. No one knew any of that. And she said that she's a trooper. She got this. Don't worry. Her divorce was final before she went to the hospital, and she was so happy about that, because we were supposed to go. Was planning the trip to rent a cabin, and we're gonna go celebrate there. And then, a lot of people knew we were together, but we were gonna make the official announcement after she got done with her quarantine, before she was even hospitalized, because she just was like, well, I'm gonna have to quarantine for 14 days, but I plan on going back to work in 10. I'm good, everything's gonna be fine. And I was like, well, I'm gonna wait for you, and all that stuff, but we had deep conversations, deep Then one day I went to the hospital and couldn't see her. A lot of people who were on her visitation list were, well, that's another story. Several people could not see her or get any information about or any updates about what's going on with her. I called her because when I was texting, she wasn't opening them or, anything. So I called. She answered, and I could hear the machine, in the background. And she said that the doctors are going to do some kind of test, and then they're going to, she's going to be moving rooms today. So she let me know that. I don't know what this white shit is. Excuse me. And I said, well, okay. Well, as soon as you move rooms and get situated, give me a text and let me know you're still okay. Just, you don't have to call me. Just text me and keep me updated with, what's going on with you. What they're doing to treat you. If they're increasing your oxygen or decreasing your oxygen, let me know every single thing. I mean, you're not bothering me. I want to know. The more, no matter how many times you text me, you're not bothering me. And she was like, okay, I gotta go because they're coming in here. So we got off the phone. I kept texting. I didn't hear from her, so I was texting her. Didn't get a response. Kept texting her, like, different times of the day, night, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no answer. So, like, something's wrong, but I don't have any information. Can't get any information. But during that time with her, she stopped texting me. She had been put on the ventilator. Visitation. She was moved to it was somewhere on the 3rd floor in the Dawson Tower. And so I called. I was like, maybe I might get lucky. Sometimes you can get back there to the back to see someone even though you're not on any list. So called, and they're like, yeah, I can sign you up. I was like, yay. They asked me what relation was I. I told them. And so visitation was from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. No, 11 to 2. 11. Yeah. So I signed up for 11 o'clock. I was so excited because I was going to be able to see her. I knew she was not going to be able to respond back to me because she was on the vent. And I was okay with that because I knew she was still fighting, with her seeing me. I know she can hear me. There's been plenty of stories of plenty of people have said they were able to hear everything around them, when they were on the vent. Got to the hospital. The little girl at the desk was looking all crazy. She went to go get the doctor. The doctor came back around and met me. Told me, unfortunately, something went on and only a certain person has access to see her. So I didn't get to see her. I was like, okay, so started talking to her best friend, was getting information and updates whenever she got them. Something happened. I don't even remember the day of the week it was. All my days are running together. She was getting bad. I'm not gonna go into details, but she was getting bad, and so I got to go up there with her. Her brother came to town. Her sister. I'm just gonna call her sister. Okay, her sister. A sister-in-law, but I'm gonna say sister. I hope this is still recording, but anyways, got back to see her. We had one-on-one time with her. Everybody went in one at a time. I went in, talked to her. I swear she responded to me with her eye, even though she was on drugs to paralyze her and to sedate her. There was movement in her feet. When you would talk to her, her heart rate would go up. Just different things on the monitor, what she would react to when you speak to her. Went to visit her every day except Saturday because I had to work. I had to work all day. And by the time I got off, visitation hours were going to be over. And her best friend was there with her, and I didn't want to take away their time and just give her 30 minutes to visit her, So I did not go visit her on Saturday. Yeah, that was Saturday. Sunday was yesterday. Went to spend the night with her, me and my daughter. Because, she didn't need to be there alone. She had been alone for so long. There's no visitors, not hearing anybody talk to her to help her fight. The only thing she was listening to was the nurses, and the nurses were talking about things in front of her that should not have been said in front of her. It's just been a very bad day. They were supposed to do a brain reaction test today at 11 a.m. They didn't do that. They said that she stopped. They said basically everything's shutting down. Her hands and her feet, and a little bit of spot right here on her forehead. That was just redness, but her hands and feet were bluish, purplish / black, if that makes any sense. The nurse said that her organs, all of her organs have failed, that the machine is doing the breathing motions for her, and the medicine in the IV is what's keeping the blood pressure. I talked to her today at the hospital. She had her favorite dog. I took a picture with him. Her dad gave it to him before he passed. And she's been having that baby. It's a baby puppy with the biggest eyes I've ever seen. I just dealing with everything. I've never had to go through anything like this because the one time that two people that were so broken found each other, were happy. I mean, like, happy. If it's another word besides happy, it was even that word. COVID sucks. I think whenever all the communication was made to stop between the doctors and nurses and with all of us, things different things could have been done or offered. But that person that had the communication was not trying to do any of that or try to do anything different. And they did say that, she was paralyzed, because of the drugs that they were giving her to make her paralyzed. But she had real tears coming out of her eyes several times. We were in the room with her, talking to her, and just telling her, just telling her different things or talking about different things. Every time I would tell her how much I love her and how much she meant to me, and thank you for coming into my life and all that stuff, tear would come down. It would be her right eye. A tear would come down. But I stayed up all night when I spent the night on Saturday night. I think I got there around 11 p.m. and I left there around maybe 3:30, 4 the next whatever day, yesterday. And I came home and got some sleep. But I went there this morning I got there at, I think it was right at 9. It'd be about 8:55 or 9. And I updated everybody on what the doctor had told me. But I'm just, I was fine. I was fine at the hospital. I was fine. I was going to be strong. I was strong. Then, I cried. Then I stopped. I was fine. Then I went to Sonic, got me something to eat. Came home. Been sitting in the driveway for about an hour. Broke down. Ooh, excuse me. But all I ask is continue to pray for everyone in her family, all of her family, all her friends, anyone who knows her. Pray for them. Pray for Maddie. Pray for me. I know sorry, I don't want my nose starting. I know God can make a miracle happen. It's like, how hard do you have to pray to get that? Everybody's praying. Everybody's been praying. But that is what I felt like I wanted to share. But I have to go. I don't have to go, but I'm going to go, and so I can get out of the car and get some fresh air and take a nap. But I enjoyed meeting all of her family. her son, everybody, and now I'm a part of their family. They accepted me with open arms because if you knew Maddie, Maddie didn't meet a stranger, but if you were not a good person, Maddie would not deal with you, and she would make it known that she's not dealing with you. So, I'm gonna end this video and go in the house. But that's what have been going through, and I still have her rose. I have it hung up on my wall. I'm looking for a shadow box so I can get it and flatten it. I'm gonna put the card she gave me, picture of us that I took, that I have not shared with anyone. Yeah, you will not get a picture of her face from me. It's just a picture of us holding hands one day in the hospital. It was actually yesterday and then today. I just want everyone to know that it's my soulmate, and there won't be anybody to replace her ever. I'm not looking for anybody to replace her because you can't. And I told her that I will nothing that's not important or any of some of y'all's business, because some of y'all's just nosy. But excuse me for looking how I look, but I'm not even apologizing for it. This is the raw me, 100% real. You will never get anything fake from me. But this is everything. And thank you for listening if you watched the whole video. Alright, y'all have a great day, and everybody stay safe. I don't know if I'm even gonna post this, which I think I am, or I just needed to record this and say these words and have them in my phone. But I think I'm gonna post it so that in case something happens to this phone, I'll still have it. But I love each and one of you, and y'all stay safe.